All right, you are listening to an episode of Transparency and Merit. My name's Joe. I'm here with Brian. Brian, what's the name of this show?
The name of this show is Fair Use and Anti-Racism. So recently, a person by the name, and why is my camera on? I hope people aren't looking at me or seeing me.
No, your camera. No. It's blocked. I know. We're only seeing what you're looking at is what's on the screen. So
Good enough. Good enough. So yes. So a person by the name of she goes by the name of Akilah, obviously, and basically she now they're trying to fetch. Okay, I'm actually trying to post this on my Facebook account, and hopefully I can promote this video.
You might want to close that window.
I'm not sure they'll allow me to do that, but I am boosting this right now as we speak. Hopefully
Boost that sucker.
Yeah. Hopefully the way Facebook is, they will allow us to do this. And I was gonna but since the fight's on, I don't know if I want to really boost this on yet on Twitter. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if that's necessary.
All right. Well, let's just get into what we're going to be talking about then.
So recently there was a lawsuit with Sargon of Akkad and Akilah, obviously. I'll just use their what do you call it? Their screen names. Carl Benjamin's the person. I forget what Akilah's last name is, but if you want to play the clip of the first initial lawsuit that Akilah had of the lawsuit that was going down, and then we'll go to the next one because this is a couple years, I think 2 years later, where the lawsuit basically where it plays out. So let's play Akilah. Obviously, this goes to the lawsuit, and I don't know if we want to play like I can't find the clip that Carl Benjamin had of the clip that she was suing him over, but play this real quick.
All right, it's a 3-minute clip. Let's check it out.
Hi, YouTube. It's Akilah, obviously, and I'm suing a grown man who goes by the name Sargon. You probably heard about it because it's a public lawsuit, and it's sort of coming on the heels of this huge H3 versus Matt Haas lawsuit. And I just want to talk a little bit about it because a lot of people in their feelings, they're mad. They're like wondering, how can I possibly be doing this? Let me tell you about transformative videos. You can't just change the name of something and then re-upload the content. And that's basically what this Sargon guy did. I can't download Titanic and put 4 different scenes together and then call it on a boat and act like I created that. It just doesn't work that way. That's the basis of this lawsuit. So to address some of the concerns, be completely honest, this weekend has been really nuts on the internet. Real life has been great. I'm thriving, but internet's just a little touchy. People get really upset. If I had $1 for every time I've been called in the past 48 hours, I probably have enough money that, maybe Sargon could just give me that. It's pretty terrible. But I just want to address everything. So the first thing, and the biggest critique, I guess, of what is happening is a comparison of me to this Matt Haas guy who sued H3 and lost because of fair use. Again, fair use means that you have a commentary, or there is clear satire or parody, or a transformative use of something that already exists. I have a copyright on my video, and there was no commentary, which, gotta be honest, is kind of rare for Sargon. That was a mistake on his part. He could have said something, and I would have been like, okay, I'm offended, but at least he had something to say about my work. He didn't do that. He just very lazily uploaded my work. That's why it's not the same lawsuit. And in fact, H3H3 winning only strengthens this lawsuit because it points out the flaw in the argument that it's transformative. H3H3 can point to very specific things they said to critique Mouse's work. The same can't be said for what Sargon did. Am I aware that Sargon has a family? Yeah. Also, I don't care. They're not my kids. All right. Listen, if he cares about his family, maybe he wouldn't have done this. It has nothing to do with me. So I'm not going to feel bad about suing for somebody who stole from me. I'm just not going to do it. Lots of critiques about my appearance lately, which I just want to put that to rest. I'm a beautiful woman. You're not going to hurt my feelings by saying that I'm ugly or fat or whatever else. Okay, I'm getting laid and living my dreams. So I think you might want to go for a different angle. Also, threatening to dox me or, to rape me or to kill me, all that stuff, that only hurts Sargon. So if you're a fan of his, I'm sure it's not going to help the damages when it comes to like a mob mentality saying that I should be murdered for wanting to defend my work. Just putting it out there. Maybe just try a little bit harder or just be quiet, wait to see what happens. But yeah, I just want to address it. I know that people are talking about it. People are making videos about it. People are jumping to a lot of conclusions. And I think that, I'm going to win the lawsuit and I don't feel bad about that. And I think it should set the precedent that people should be making original work. And I implore you to do the same. I'll see you soon with another comedy video. Bye.
Now, the next video basically goes to show this is Tim Poole, and this is talking about her. And, basically, she has lost her lawsuit, and now she is, now she's on the on defense now. The ball's right now in Sargon's court, and he has time to serve up some what might be said some juicy justice. But let's play the Tim Poole clip.
What groups has Sargon been involved with?
What's that?
Who's Sargon involved with?
Sargon is the person being sued, and he's a YouTube commenter. I think he's also a gamer. I've listened to him off and on for quite some time. And basically, he has been kicked off of Patreon. He's been milkshaked. And people have tried to come after his income. And it has, it's not been good. And it's like, I'll go into the 14th Amendment and to the the Public Accommodations Act of the Civil Rights, the 1964 Civil Rights, or the Public Accommodations Act of the Civil Rights, 1964 Civil Rights Bill, which was kind of put on. By the way, Deontay, I think Tyson Fury just beat Deontay Wilder. I just read that.
Was that the heavyweight fight tonight?
Yeah, there was a heavyweight fight. I don't know if it was Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. Let me take a look real quick this is just breaking news. But I just want to make sure that the news is there. What just happened? And they don't even have it here on the. Okay, so CNN had put it up. And let's go back home here. Let's see here. Oh, KO'd. So he was KO'd. Let's see what's going on. Wilder versus the Bronze Bar face on Las Vegas. Okay, where is the most racist interest of all time? The king of KO got KO'd by the king of the Gypsy.
Deontay Wilder. Let's see. The last time it's kind of confusing. Round 7, Tyson Fury wins the heavyweight championship. It's done. Deontay Wilder retreated to a neutral corner while Tyson Fury pounded on him with lefts and rights. The towel flew into the ring. Wow. It took the white towel from Wilder's corner, and referee Kenny Bayless ended the fight, wrapping up a masterful performance by Tyson Fury.
So yeah, so the man has won the fight, and
I think the word is that he had won every round. Tyson Fury did.
yeah,
So
that's what I'm hearing as well. So, yeah, but let's get back. So, Sargon of Akkad, basically, Carl Benjamin has won his lawsuit, and this man, like I said, there's a lot of abuse going on out there, and it seems like if you speak out in any way against the anti-racist fanaticism, which seems like fanaticism, uh, you can get very much canceled, and that's the way it looks to me. Joe, can you play the clip?
I'm sure many of you are familiar with Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad. You may also know that he was involved in a lawsuit. Some of you might not know anything about this, but let me just say, this is one of the most epic examples of how a lot of these far left individuals, these activists, are completely immature, really, really naive, ignorant, and just all around stupid. So for those that aren't familiar with what's going on, I'll give you some quick context. The story we have from Reclaim the Net: Carl Benjamin sues Akilah Hughes to reclaim legal fees, accusing Hughes of weaponizing copyright law. The suit claims Hughes made an attempt to muzzle an ideological opponent through wrongful use of copyright law. It all goes back to 2016. I believe it was 2016. Akilah Hughes is one of these social justice activist types. She produced a video called something like "We Thought She Would Win." It's a long clip from, I think, some kind like the Hillary Clinton watch party or whatever, in the election, something like that. Well, Sargon took a couple pieces and he made a video that was essentially, called like the absolute state of SJWs or something like that. It was criticizing Akilah Hughes. She decided to file a copyright suit against him, and some interesting things happened. The first thing I want to say is that I find a lot of these activists are extremely, as I mentioned, ignorant, naive. You look at how they operate on college campuses, and you can see that they have no understanding of how adults work, how the real world works, and they're in for a rude awakening. They are being coddled and propped up with safe spaces, so they think the world is all candy canes and rainbows. They think in college, when someone comes and says a naughty word, they can go retreat to their safe space to hide from those naughty words. In the real world, adults, courts will not give you these privileges and treat you like a baby. They will toss you out into the wolves in 2 seconds. So Akilah was openly bragging about how she was trying to shut down Sargon of Akkad. Again, I'm assuming most of you know who Sargon is. If you don't, he's a big YouTuber, got a lot of followers. He's a liberalist, anti-feminist, etc. So he's very critical of the SJWs. She was actively tweeting like a moron, I must say, and I'm not trying to be mean. I mean, you have to be really, really stupid to file a lawsuit and then just keep tweeting about your intentions and your motives. This ultimately resulted in Sargon winning, and now he's going after legal fees. And it looks like, according to another YouTube, Leonard French, who's a lawyer on YouTube, this left-wing grifter was so bad and so entitled and narcissistic that she might be out 30 grand or maybe even more, maybe 40 grand. Personally, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if they can do punitive damages in this direction or how that might work. But let me just say, this is a story about a social justice warrior, yes, I will use the pejorative, who tried to exploit copyright law, that's exactly what it looks like, that's what they're arguing, to punish an ideological opponent, but openly bragged they were doing it to the point where the court just threw it in the trash. And now Sargon, the anti-feminist, might actually get her to pay for all his legal fees. And I got to say, it seems pretty reasonable. Let's read the story. And I want to talk, I had some concerns.
all right, where are you at with this? You want to keep going, or do you have any comments?
I just wanted to say how vindictive some of these social justice so-called anti-racists are, and how fanatical they are, and how out of touch with the real world, with the rest of the world they are. You saw the beginning of the video where she basically said, I don't care that he has a family, he did what he did. She felt that she was stealing from him. But and I don't want to go into the rest of it because Tim Poole goes into the fact that her first attorneys, when they heard the case and the judge, decided that this is not a fair use case, she hired a group of new attorneys to continue the case onward. So she was very brazen about what she wanted to do, and she didn't. I don't think she listened to the advice of her counsel, and she just got new counsel. And she also said one of the things that she wanted to do, like when Sargon of Akkad would appear in public space, like to do public presentations and speeches, was she said play copyrighted music during his speeches so those get canceled out, so he could so he won't be on YouTube and stuff. So she's a very vindictive, very nasty person. Another person who's on that level, maybe even worse, is Francesca Ramsey. These two individuals are some of the most vindictive, nasty, cruel, mean individuals out there. The problem is that they do have people in power that, to a degree, back them. I will get into later how the whole power game works. It's kind of a I've been doing little diagrams of the levels of power that some of these people have, and it's just my kind of theory on that they do have they do have the power to silence you. They claim being marginalized, but in reality, the people who are marginalized are the people that go against the anti-racist and speak out against them. If you speak out against them too loud, or you're not or if you're just starting out, or if you're marginally successful, they will come for you and they will cancel you out. And like I said, it seems to be against the 1964 public accommodations, the public accommodations part of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which basically from my understanding, its basis was in the 14th Amendment, and it was about equal protection under the law. And there are quite a few cases, even of self-defense, because Antifa is really the most fanatical wing of the anti-racist. And there have been a few scuffles, two that I can think of, one in New York and one in Portland, where there's been court cases, and basically they can't. I mean, these people are charged with crimes, and they cannot get themselves defended on these crowdfunding sites. They're kicked off of them. And I think Carl Benjamin, to raise legal fees, was also kicked off of these crowdfunding sites. So it's really, like I said, it seems to be really against the 14th Amendment and equal protection under the law. Joe, do you have anything to add on to that?
I don't. Are you done with this Tim Poole video, or do you want to see any
I think
more?
I'm done with the Tim Poole video. I don't know if you have any other videos that come to mind. I mean, and you should maybe see it on your own, like others should see it on their own, and really subscribe to Tim Poole and even become a Tim Poole, like give him, because he is doing some of the best work on this kind of stuff. And it's like I said, it seems to be, that the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law, is not granted to conservatives. They have to be good conservatives or good libertarians, and you can't go against the anti-racist diatribe, or you will be punished if you speak out of turn. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm kind of concluded on my case.
All right. So we got the website there posted, transparencyandmerit.com. We're working on that. So, just keep tuning in to Transparency and Merit. Like, subscribe. We really need subscribers. I think that's kind of what we're going to make a run for, try to get as many people listening. So thank you if you're joining us. Republic of Liberty is here. I see him or her. I'm not sure which, but welcome to the show again. And we'll be back for more, hopefully tomorrow. All right.
And
Are we done?
leave a comment below if you have anything to add on that. And leave a comment and share it if you want to keep the conversation going, because we're going to have more conversations with people. We are individuals that love communicating with people. We love just having the conversation with as many different voices as we can, so long as it's respectful and the like. So and just if you have a comment, and if there's anything that I missed or you think that I got something wrong, please comment.
That's right. That's right. And there's more topics where I'll be taking lead. These are topics I think, Brian, that you really kind of dig into, and I think they really bother you to some extent. So
They do bother me.
I think our a place where we meet up is there's been a lot of issues. Hey, Darren, what's going on? Welcome. One thing we've noticed is the civil rights industrial complex is a real thing. I hadn't seen it much before you had brought it to my attention, but all roads seem to lead back when you're talking about issues of race, and in many respects, when you're talking about issues of censorship and these sort of topics, it seems like all roads lead back to the civil rights industrial complex. But I like to take the story back even further, but I think that's a good starting point for Transparency and Merit. And that's all I got. So
now, I have been told, Darren says to turn me up. So we're still working on all of our technical issues. So bear in mind that we're still kind of new at this, but we do have a lot of information, and like I said, we'll go over that a little bit later. And that's about all we have for that. And thanks for joining us. And like and subscribe, and as I've said before, leave a comment below.